Midweek edition of TVC Breakfast. I am Veronica Dan-Ikpoyi. I'm not here alone. I have Super Sam Omatseye as well as Mike Okwoche. Gentlemen, it's a good morning.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us this morning.
Good morning.
Right. Yesterday we got the details of the story that ECOWAS, that's the Economic Community of West African States, is looking to confer on the President, Muhammadu Buhari, Democracy Icon Award, and that has generated a lot of reactions from, across social media, across Nigerians reacting to that development. ECOWAS said that because the president has made his mark with regards to what he has achieved over the years in talking about democracy and how he has supported West African countries with regards to democracy, they are looking to confer this award on him.
Yeah.
Son.
I think he deserves it. Those people who are saying that it doesn't deserve it are probably extending their sour grapes from the loss in the elections that just concluded in Nigeria. So they are transferring it at the law. It didn't interfere with the election. It didn't do anything. But in fact, he has done well in terms of in what they call it in his party. It didn't even interfere with this election. It just said everything should.
Well, that is expected, but beyond the election, there are those who have said that we've seen how he has flouted the rule of law, talking about. Let's even begin with the cash crunch, where the Supreme Court has said, the 200 naira, 500 naira, 1,000 naira remains a legal tender.
Yeah.
But the president says, although he is upholding the rule of law, he would say that only 200 naira will remain illegal. The old 200 naira will remain a legal tender, but for the 500, 1,000, that is no longer a legal tender. So there's also this mix coming to the conversation, Mike.
Yeah, let us not miss what is going on here. To do things in common. The domestic things of each country remains your domestic issues, right? All the issue of cash crunch, all the issue of election, rule of law, they are domestic issues of Nigeria, right? Now, ECOWAS, on the other hand, like somebody said, Nigeria is ECOWAS, ECOWAS is Nigeria. If you see what Nigeria has done in stabilizing Mali, if you see what Nigeria has done to stabilize Gambia, if you see what if you see what Nigeria has done to stabilize Burkina Faso, and also assisting Ghana and all of that, then you know that Nigeria is actually the pillar behind West Africa being West Africa. So it is from that prism that Buhari has done so well in ensuring, especially you even see the trans-Saharan terror, Boko Haram and all of that. Well, we all know that Nigeria is not the only one suffering Boko Haram. Cameroon has suffered it, Chad has suffered it, Niger has suffered it, even down to Mali. All of those terrorism issues, but
they say charity begins at home.
Charity begins at home. How much of Boko Haram are we hearing today? So the point there is,
we had a conversation about persons killed in Benue.
Yeah, of course,
right.
we know that, but you can't have it all. There's no perfection anywhere.
Right.
The issue of he deserves, he doesn't deserve it. Well, at the level of ECOWAS, Nigeria has done amazingly well, or at the level of ECOWAS, to ensure that ECOWAS is stabilized, to ensure that ECOWAS economic activities Nigeria is still the leader in the ECOWAS sub-region. However, when it comes to domestic issues of Nigeria by itself, of course, there are issues that we can point to say, okay, fine, President has not done this well, President didn't meet our expectations, all those ones are there. But at the level of ECOWAS, I think President Buhari deserves, if ECOWAS feels they are giving him an award.
If you are talking about the rule of law, well, I agree with you on the issue of the rule of law, that because the rule of law is an important part of democracy. But you have to look at the big picture. You can't just say because of the rule of law, you just throw the baby with the bathwater. I don't agree with him what he has done with the cash crunch. But he himself has said he was doing the cash crunch issue because he wanted to foster democracy. That was his own idea. I've disagreed with that. But you cannot throw the baby away with the bathwater. What he has done by not interfering. He's the first president in Nigeria that has not interfered with elections. Obasanjo did, Jonathan did. Yar'Adua didn't have the time to prove whether he could not. And he's the first person that has not interfered with elections. I say, so if my party loses, okay. If the other party loses, okay.
Yeah.
The only area he only insisted that you must vote for when it was his own case. Say vote for me and other candidates. You can vote your conscience. Well, your conscience is good for me, and for other people, you can go anywhere. You can go anywhere. That is his own definition of. That's a personal definition of democracy.
Right.
Well, that is sin. But if you say he cannot, he doesn't deserve it. A lot of it is a zombie. Joe syndrome. We don't like him, so anything they give him, we don't support it. That's what's going on. It's coming principally from the obedient who are angry, who have sour grapes. I'm telling you that these are in sour grapes. I'm categorical. I'm going to categorize.
No, we cannot categorize it as that. There are other parties, members of other parties who are still saying this.
Do you have the data?
Do you have the data?
I know them. I know them. We know them or not. Online.
You can't just categorize one person or a few persons.
Okay, if it is
the
two parties, it got to be PDP or Labour. They are all sour grapes. They went to the streets to go and protest. They went to the streets to go and protest.
Right, we need to move that.
When did the article become an aluta? When?
He just started
He just had to be a aluta.
He just started.
Okay, we need to move that.
It didn't even fit him.